Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a great week so far. Today we're going to be diving into our daily cryptocurrency market update, and there is a lot that has unfolded over the past 24 hours, and there's even more to come with the likes of the consumer price index for the United States, which may reveal that the economy, the state of the world, is in a bit more of a sorry state than perhaps many of your governments are telling you. So we're going to get into all that in this video. Of course, you guys know not only do we look at the crypto space within these daily cryptocurrency market updates, but we also look at the external world around us as what is taking place within crypto. Often the answers lie elsewhere, like what's taking place on or in terms of macroeconomics, or what is taking place in regards to sort of monetary policy, geopolitical events, and a number of other things. They all weigh heavily on the cryptocurrency space's shoulders, and that's what we're going to be diving into in this one. So really the main topic is, of course, the executive order that Biden has essentially now released, which is tasking various agencies within the United States to come up with a regulatory framework to ensure the US's leadership in evolving technologies, in emerging technologies that may play a role within the world that we're moving towards. Also to do things like combat illicit activity, tax avoidance, and a number of other things. So it's all very interesting. And ultimately, as an overview of this, and it is brief, there's nothing really too specific in this. This is a step in the right direction. It's actually a lot more positive than I think many people had initially thought it was going to be. There was lots of people calling for a ban on the cryptocurrency space. We've told you that we didn't think that was the case, given everything that is being built around it, given how we see a lot of your big fund managers, a lot of your big companies around the world actually moving towards cryptocurrency and embracing it and building infrastructure around it. This is TERRA Capital, a blockchain fund, has $1 billion in commitments. So all of these companies would not be moving towards adopting and investing in the crypto space if they thought the likes of the United States government were going to come out and ban it. Because if that was the case and they were going to restrict it in a manner that would be crippling, and the US government and governments around the world are very good at over-regulating things, your companies would probably already have a sense that that was going to take place and not be so forthcoming in investing and building infrastructure around it. That's certainly the argument that I'll be delivering. So let's get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very, very indecisive right now. You can see you do have this grind line. I'll take it off the 4-hourly chart. That is indeed holding you currently. And, you know, you are kind of grinding up it. Now, we did say yesterday, these are not FOMO markets. These are not markets that you want to be rushing in and out. You don't want to be panic selling or panic buying. Markets are extremely good at taking money from impatient hands into the hand of patient. That's what markets are really designed to do. And people get every time there's a pump they want to run in, every time there's a dump they want to sell out. What you've got to understand, and we drill it home to you every single day, is not only is there uncertainty within the cryptocurrency market, this being really at the forefront of it, you know, regulatory clarity, but there's also uncertainty on a geopolitical front, on a macroeconomic front, on an entire monetary policy front. We know that there was a report from an analyst from Credit Suisse who was calling for a Bretton Woods Mark III. Bretton Woods 1 was where we essentially had a commodity-based currency. Then we took the currency off of being backed by commodities, and now they're calling for the argument that given everything that's taking place and how it may weaken the dollar, we may see the emergence of commodity-based currencies again. And they actually said that Bitcoin may fare very well within that storm. So there is a lot going on, guys, that you've got to understand, and that's what we try and do in these videos. We're watching things like the dollar. We've been watching a number of your sort of stocks, which are all still really coming under the pressure of what is taking place. This is the NASDAQ, which from its all-time high is down 21%. Now, we've often been saying, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market for the crypto space? I think the jury is still largely out for that. Potentially we're in a mini bear market, but on a macro scale, you guys know I don't believe that we are entering a previous kind of bear market blueprint. I don't think we enter these sort of 2-year-long bear markets anymore. I think we have shorter pullbacks. and ultimately see the continuing growth of an industry that gets represented in the chart in terms of value with volatility attached to it. I think we're just going through a lot of volatility right now. Remember that Bitcoin isn't really on the forefront of everybody's mind. This is the Google trends, which we often look at, which really represents not a great deal of actual interaction. So we can see it's pretty low, to be honest. This was, of course, your May pump. We actually went on to make a new high with very little retail interaction, which suggests that somebody else may have been moving the price. We do know that on these pullbacks, whales do tend to accumulate and actually gobble up. We've looked at a number of on-chain metrics that do suggest this isn't a bear market, because typically your on-chain metrics look vastly different going into a bear market than where we currently are in terms of short-term hodlers and long-term hodlers, coin flows, and a number of other things. So it is definitely interesting. So let's get into a little bit of it. Biden issues long-awaited US executive order on crypto, executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. This overall, for me, they talk about we must protect the United States and global finance stability, mitigates seismic risk, systemic risk. We must mitigate the illicit finance and national security risk posed by the misuse of digital assets. They covered a number of things in here, but this was a really interesting section, in my opinion. We must reinforce the United States leadership in the global financial system and in technological and economical competitiveness, including through the responsible development of payment, innovation, and digital assets. So they're calling these digital assets. So we've had a big shift from them ignoring it to now recognizing it and actually going, hey, we need to embrace and make sure that we reserve the right to be the leaders in this technology. It's really significant, everything that's going on. Just remember that this is an order. So there's not been clarity of this. I think for the next 180 days, they're essentially going to task various agencies within the government to actually come up with solutions, come up with how they're going to tackle this. So it's going to be an interesting time. Again, lots going on in the world that is all having an impact. We've got kind of the FX games going on where we're seeing a number of currencies out there. This actually isn't great for the dollar. But one thing that I'm not massively happy with is Bitcoin. It's becoming almost untethered in some ways to a lot of things, but still largely tethered to everything, the uncertainty in the room. We must promote access to safe and affordable financial services. Many Americans are unbanked and the cost of cross-border money transfers and payments are high. The United States has a strong interest in promoting responsible innovation that expands equitable access to financial services, particularly for those Americans underserviced by the traditional banking system, including by making investments in domestic and cross-border fund transfers and payments cheaper, faster, and safer, and promoting greater and more cost-efficient access to financial products and services. So you can get the grip. I'll leave a link to this in the description. Give it a read, guys. It's imperative that you do so. We know that we've got the consumer price index coming out today, or I believe today. And I actually expect this to be significantly higher than it was previously. Remember, we had some really high consumer price index figures really on the back end of or before we had extortionate gas prices. Gas and oil have gone through the roof given everything that's taking place right now. There's a real commodity boom. So it's extremely interesting, everything that's taking place. We will keep you up to date. It's a bit of a down day for the UK stock market. I'm expecting other markets to follow. What is going to happen with Bitcoin when the CPI is released? Well, last time we actually saw it sell off instead of excel on the back end of high inflationary numbers, which is counterintuitive given that Bitcoin was really created as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against monetary systems, fiat systems becoming perpetually devalued and thus hurting their citizens. So it's an extremely interesting world that we're living in. Crypto-related stocks jump in positive reaction to executive order. So the likes of Coinbase and stuff like that have done quite well off of this because it's really given them the green light and kind of validated that they're at the forefront of a technological revolution. And that's what we have not only ourselves said, but we've also looked at a number of statements from the likes of Jerome Powell and a number of other Senate members who have also acknowledged this as exactly that, a technological revolution that is yet to take shape. So that is really all I have for you in this video. It is absolutely not FOMO markets. Do not rush in and out. Take your time. For somebody like myself that dollar cost average into a number of cryptos, I'm happy to continue doing so because I believe in the longevity of this industry. But, you know, do not run in after pumps and dumps because ultimately the market is just extremely uncertain. Very low volatility, very low. It's very volatile, but very low volume, which is causing markets to get moved off of really a small amount of and accelerated by the likes of leverage and a number of other things. So don't FOMO in, guys. Certainly trading this market right now, you are going to end up in a psychiatric ward, in my opinion. Don't do it. I'm not doing that. I closed all my future contracts. That is all I have for you in this video, guys. I am going to love and leave you on that note. If you have enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.